My lords, today I bring you two reports from scientists in the field. I shall discuss these together as I believe there is a strong likelihood that they are linked, not only to one another, but perhaps to the enigmatic entities that we and the Pythorian Scourge call the Hunters. The two rifts in question that we shall discuss have been designated Lone Object and Dimensional Conflict. I shall start by detailing the events in Lone Object, and then cover Dimensional Conflict before speculating on what they may or may not represent. Dr. Carter reports on Lone Object. There are no stars here, no planetary bodies, only a diffusion of light from a mysterious origin that reveals a massive object looming before us. It's roughly rectangular in shape and appears to be completely inert. We have detected no propulsion systems or power signatures of any kind. It appears to be comparable in size to a small starbase, and from our scans appears dead, but for how long has it been floating in this secluded pocket dimension? We have no idea. And furthermore, where did it come from? Our scans have identified innumerable decorative glyphs and symbols that have been intricately carved into its surface. We have ruled out any possibility of this being a natural phenomenon. It is indeed a floating mystery. My team and I will attempt to translate the glyphs. Several hours have passed. My team and I, with the help of our VIR, have made progress on the translations. The glyphs that cover this tremendous object are mostly pictorial representations. Based on the carbon dating, we have determined that some of the earliest carvings were made several millennia before the most recent. The glyphs are illustrated in such detail that we were soon able to develop a rough translation. We believe that the object is in fact a massive burial chamber. Whoever or whatever is entombed inside appear to have once ruled an entire galaxy. Some of the earliest pictographs reveal the origin of this powerful being. If our translations are correct, this being was raised by a spaceborne race of leviathans. And the two species developed a unique symbiosis, forming a potent psychic bond. They conquered countless systems together. The other symbols refer to a curse, which may be enacted upon us should we attempt to open the object or even approach it too closely. I'm attempting a deep scan of the entire perimeter to see if we can uncover anything else about this object. Our deep scans had soon finished, and we have now completed a full orbit around the object. We have discovered that it is in fact composed of two halves welded shut. The seal is heavily corroded in some locations, which is unexpected given the emptiness of the surrounding atmosphere. This indicates that the source of the corrosion must be coming from inside the object itself. Disturbingly, the corrosion is so severe in some places that cracks have started to appear. Some are large enough for one of our drones to enter, and as such, we will send a drone through the crack to investigate further. Our drone is now transmitting a signal from inside the object. Unfortunately, most of the compartments within are obscured by a thick cloud of carbon dust and have proven most difficult to maneuver around. Initial analysis has revealed a high amount of astral fabric interwoven within the carbon particles. We think it will be possible to harvest this material, should we take the time to do so. There are visible, deeper cracks within the structure, and we can see the signs of an inner chamber. Exploring this would require a method of more destructive exploration, and as such, we arm some explosives. Our controlled explosion opened the way to a previously undetected cavity hidden behind the seal. Unfortunately, the space was clearly designed as a counter-intrusion. It was filled to the brim with hostile entities. They immediately began to spill out and attack us. We enacted an emergency evacuation protocol and exited the rift. However, a number of these guardians came through the rift with us and are attacking our starbase. They appear roughly crystalline in nature, almost like a Tianki, but made out of crystals. They were quickly dispatched and the rift has been sealed. Whatever creature was entombed within that lone object, we will sadly not get the opportunity to study it. Next, on to Dimensional Conflict, and Dr. Petrie reports. This rift contains the aftermath of a titanic struggle. All that was left is the wreckage of a military fleet and the corpse of a monstrous creature, easily 10 times as large as the largest battleship from tip to tail. In contrast to the mangled hulls of the warships, the carcass is in remarkably good shape. Whatever weapons these ships were using, they appeared to be mostly ineffective. The creature is hardly damaged, but we have not yet determined what caused it to die. It does appear incredibly unlikely, however, it was the result of this battle. We believe that this creature had remarkable durability. We've been analysing its molecular composition, and we think it will help strengthen the hull of our own fleet. But on the other hand, we should attempt to study the creature's internal organs and figure out how it died, which may indicate what happened here. As such, we took the ship through its gaping maw. We are now deep inside the derelict carcass. While we were unable to penetrate the remarkable armour of the creature, we did succeed in opening its mouth with the aid of a large quantity of explosive, and a small team ventured through the mouth of the beast with the hope to gain a better understanding of its internal organs, and hopefully come back with some samples of its tissues. Its interior was fascinating. Countless rows of sharp teeth indicated that this was clearly a predatory organism. A very effective digestive system occupied the majority of its bulk, and revealed that the creature was in the habit of consuming a wide variety of material. Furthermore, we were able to estimate the time and cause of death. Despite the creature's omnivorous habits, there were clear signs of dehydration. We assume that this indicates that the creature was not native to this dimension and found nothing here to drink. Based on carbon dating, the organism passed away approximately 50,000 years ago. I've left a small team researching the internals of the creature, but I've moved on to examining the remains of the warships within the rift. They have remarkably smooth surfaces, and they bear similarities to the design of our own rift spheres. It seems that these vessels were designed to freely enter and exit rifts without the need for an anchor extraction cable. While our engineers worked on understanding this technology, the rest of the team has discovered a large dodecahedron nestled in the interior of the largest wrecked battleship. Without further testing, it's impossible to speculate on its purpose, but the way it has been carefully stored and protected indicates that it is clearly regarded as vital. Given that this relic was obviously something of great importance, our team brought the dodecahedron aboard the rift sphere for further examination, and we found trace amounts of astral thread. During experimentation, we fed some of these threads into the dodecahedron, which caused the object to begin to vibrate at a frequency so high that it soon began to resemble a sphere. While the device was active, the rift that we entered through was sealed, but as soon as the device was switched off, the rift reappeared. Based on this experiment, we believed that they were faced with a foe that they could not destroy. An ancient empire used this technology in a desperate attempt to lock this creature away, sacrificing their own battle fleet in the process. And this remarkable device could prove a significant boon for us. We have named this device the Daedalus Seal, and we believe that we can use it not only to lock astral rifts, but also all wormholes and L-gates for a significant period of time, perhaps even indefinitely. Well, my lords, you have just heard 2 reports from 2 different astral rifts. I believe the sites are linked, not only to themselves, but perhaps to the elusive beings that we call the Hunters. The first rift describes a colossal tombstone, holding within it some sort of dead, incredibly powerful galactic ruler, who, according to the scripture, dominated a galaxy with the help of a Leviathan-sized creature. We assume something similar to space dragons, or perhaps voidspawn. The second rift appears to have one such specimen within it, surrounded by the mass grave of battleships, seemingly having been destroyed by the creature, at little to no damage itself. I suspect that the Psionic Empire, who had individuals ruling entire galaxies, likely joined forces with exactly the sort of dead Leviathan that we found in the second rift. These entities were both clearly powerful in their own right. Together they would be fearsome indeed, and a perfect match to the brief description that we have of the Hunters. we need to investigate further, and we would like to test out the Daedalus Seal. Perhaps we can use it to trap enemies we are unable to defeat in clusters of space outside the normal hyperlane networks, i.e. the L cluster, or perhaps even the home of the Chosen. Our work must continue.